Hey folks, Kaya here. I Should Roll will always be free to listen to, but it's not free to make. So please consider supporting us by subscribing to our Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/Intergalactic Improv Initiative. You'll find the link in the show notes. As a stellar streamer, you'll receive exclusive bonus content and our enduring gratitude. Tiers start at $2 per month. See you on Calliope Station.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
A podcast by the Intergalactic Improv Initiative.
Dangerous Dangers, Episode 12, The Teams Coming Together, featuring the voices of Alanya Campbell, Tiff Compton, Amanda Cotter, Maria Damianou, Leah Lawson, Dan Spitaliere, and creator, Kaya Renwick. There is danger in everything that we do. I Should Roll. Last time on Dangerous Dangers. On the way to Ilium, the crew of the Corsica shared a delicious meal of Clixon, courtesy of resident Rachni chef Solace-Within-Clay. Solace excused themselves from the buttery fray to speak with their mother, then returned to deliver the bombshell that Minos aren't just annoyingly competent, they are truly dangerous. Dangerous to none other than Commander Shepard. While everyone else was reeling from the implications of what they were getting themselves into, Jesse seemed much more concerned about something else entirely.
January 20th, 2189. Terran Universal Coordinated Calendar. Tassali System. Crescent Nebula. MSV Corsica.
How much have you seen in my mind?
We've seen enough to know that it's disjointed. More than we expect from humans.
That should be enough to tell you that I'm not gonna stop. Thanks for dinner. And yeah, I think Jesse would start to head off unless you stop him, so...
Clous looks at Solace and says excitedly, "If you have seen into his mind, have you found his brain?"
We don't believe we have.
Earnestly, "Do you think the song that you hear can help us find Jesse's brain?"
Possibly.
Athena is coming from dinner in the galley up to the main deck and then crossing paths with you. Possibly at the entrance to the elevator. Would be a sensible place to run into each other.
So she just rounds the corner and completely, almost, eats shit in front of her on the floor because she's going very fast. Faster than, you all know how devastating a fast Krogan can be.
Ugh. What the fuck? Oh, hello.
Athena, has anyone had a chance to go to bed yet? I only ask because I just had a really weird nightmare.
Are there bugs?
I mean... define bugs.
Rachni, because I also was rudely awakened. I presume everyone got it. Rachni.
That's right, you were asleep at the table. I forgot about that.
Was it Solace?
Yep, that was lovely. Good sharing.
What? Okay. Clearly I'm not the smartest person in this ship, but someone's gonna have to tell me what it meant.
Oh, you want me to interpret in a completely different species form of communication? Okay. It was so many flashes. It was very disorienting, especially for two people who were asleep. But we are most definitely dealing with people who are fucking with Reapers or something related, and it's it's not great. It's a confirmation that we needed but didn't want. And we also saw, well, I reckon that was Garrus Vakarian. And looking at one particular shepherd who was running, who was in trouble, bit fucked up, very dangerous, but that's the business that we're in. So, yeah, it's getting real, Vraga. Is that what you saw?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping it was a weird fever dream from something I ate on the Citadel, but,
Same. Nope.
Okay. That's what we're dealing with.
Tis, and I was texting and walking and running into you, and now I'm going to sleep crooked, so thanks for that. But, yes, I would assume that if you need to warn people, probably ought to. But if you do want to speak to the others, I'm going to bed. But if you want to speak to them, they're downstairs. Eating. Are you hungry?
Yeah, starving, actually.
Right. Go on, get the grub. I'm out.
Vraga just continues, follows her nose. I'm assuming she would be able to smell it.
Yeah, you head down the lift, and as soon as you get into the cargo bay, you can smell the aroma of steamed and highly buttered Clixon waiting for you in the galley.
Hell yes. Just like Mom used to make. Hey, Solace.
We hope you had a good rest, Vraga.
I did, besides the message that everyone seemed to get. It was, pretty disorienting. I guess we needed to see it, so I get it. No offense made, or intended, I just, it was quite a way to wake up. And then she, sets herself, on the sideboard. There's the most room for her because she's a large and in charge lady. She picks up a couple utensils and starts eating like a crazy person. Because after she wakes up, she's hungry.
I'm imagining bits of shell and Clixon just sort of flying everywhere as Vraga's tearing open claws and yeah.
Trying to be as
trying to be dainty,
as etiquette forward as possible. Yeah, 100%.
Demure.
Trying and failing to be dainty.
And ending up as covered in butter as Nyx already is. Presumably.
I think just to interject one thing real quick, during that conversation, you would have heard from the hallway a banging, like a really swift sort of single bang on the metal of the wall, a doorway or a wall or something from the other room, but that's what you would have heard.
Yeah, and Nyx is, from hearing the banging, just kind of snaps to it versus being in this post vision, Rachni vision. And before waddling off to bed, she kind of turns, witnessing Vraga, and in kind of a slow motion, she just sees butter and parts of this delicious meal flying, and it glistens with the lights from above, and there's just this slow motion romantic moment happening, very intimate moment happening with Vraga and her meal, and it's just mesmerizing to look at. And then quickly she turns to Clous with a little bit of a smile on her face, just, oh, it's not, there's more than one person who's lost their mind on this ship. That's good to know. And then just bids adieu to everybody, just happy tummy and absolutely exhausted.
Time for bed. The evening wears on. those who have not already retired to their cabins eventually do, with the detritus of the Clixon in the galley for midnight snacks and I guess Krogan lobster on bagels in the morning, who knows. Time passes, morning rolls around. So after a restful, hopefully, night of sleep, Nyx wakes up to the following message on their Omnitool, and I will read it out loud for you. So it is a message addressed to Nyx from a name that they don't recognize, but the address is from their employer. And the subject line is Contract Completion and Performance Review. And the message goes as follows. Dear Ms. Lalliri, we at PRS Palliative Care extend our congratulations on another successful research contract. Your valued contribution supports our vital mission to provide quality end-of-life care for patients galaxy-wide. We couldn't do this without you. Upon your arrival at Ilium, a supervisor will be made available at your earliest convenience at the location attached to this message to facilitate your summary findings debrief and end-of-contract interview. We thrive on the continued feedback from our partner physicians to ensure we maintain the exceptional level of experiences our patients and personnel have come to expect from our client-focused organization. Our personnel records show that your last performance review was conducted in GC 2928 by Dr. Linesse Alali. This is outside the required 2-year interval agreed to in your employment contract. Therefore, a standard performance review will be conducted following your upcoming summary findings debrief and prior to your end-of-contract interview. As a reminder, these required performance reviews and their agreed-upon cadence are integral to ensuring the health and safety of all who depend on our uniquely dedicated, mission-driven work. We look forward to discussing the exciting future of your continued employment with us. Remember, your smile is the sunshine in their cloudiest day. Warmly, Janina Vidokwa, Employee Relations, PRS Palliative Care. And of course, attached to the message are a set of coordinates for somewhere in Ilium in Nosastra. Good morning, Nyx.
Spits out coffee. Definitely. This is definitely red. Nyx is reading this while she's enjoying a nice espresso as she starts her day. And yeah, that just went all over the place. Hold up. Linesse. That's a ghost. That doesn't make any sense. Something's not right. Nobody would know this. There was no one. We're just gonna have to figure this out because every single time I complete a mission, we're the ones who check in. I never receive this kind of encrypted message. I mean, what is even this? Ugh. I haven't discussed anything of my last performance review with anyone, not even Piare's palliative care. This is concerning. No one got off of that vessel, of that station. No one got off of that station. None unless they were processed. No. Something else is up here. Clearly we have to reach out to these people because if something else is going on that I'm not aware of, I need to be one step ahead of that. I need to make sure this isn't law enforcement. I need to make sure that we're okay. Because this seems a little too bold for someone to reach out to me in this fashion.
Okay. Do you want to do any checks now, or do you want to...
I would love to do some checks.
Okay, what kind of checks do you want to do?
A bullshit check? A spam
I think that's
check?
what's known in the business as an insight check.
Ah, yes, insight. Yes.
I love that. It's a bullshit check now. I appreciate that deeply.
I think it's just the colorful words at the bottom. Smile is the sunshine in their cloudiest day. That's 11.
Okay. You do some poking, and as far as you can tell without starting to, attempt to hack into various databases that might start alerting people, this does seem to be legitimate, as far as you can tell. And I think you also find out on an insight sort of investigation-y check of an 11, you find out that there was a shift in management at Piares at the end of the war, that it kind of rings a bell. You kind of realize, oh yeah, you did know about that, but you were too busy with the end of the war at the time, and there are nightmares and things like that. And now you're realizing that, well, while you've been handling the end of the war, so has everyone else. And so maybe that has something to do with this.
Nyx is intrigued because other than skeletons in their closet, I think there's also the possibility that even if this is a trap, there may be answers. And I mean, shit. It'd be really nice to know that everything we've been working on so far is still operational, still functional, but...
Yeah, that you haven't been, sending data into a void for the last couple
exactly.
of years. Yeah.
Exactly.
If it's a trap, maybe it's at least an interesting trap, right?
It's a trap, or yes, it's either an interesting trap or this is a test, which not really appreciated because these guys better not be doing this again. Get out of here. This is not funny. This is not freaking funny.
While everybody watches through the one-way mirror into the cafeteria at what she's doing this time. Yeah,
exactly. So much easier to do that to people, when you can't actually confront them face to face. So yeah.
Right.
After receiving that message, there is, before getting into preparation, there is a slight tremor in her arm, and Nyx grabs it to calm down her hand, and then just takes a moment to focus, to center, and prepares to pick up her items, her ta'ani. She kind of looks at it, turns the ta'ani with a moment of a brief flash against the blade. Just gives it a quick little buff, prepares to dress herself with her armor, with all of her gear, making sure that her pistol is fully loaded and ready to go, and just getting all of those essential items together along with her ta'ani, and prepares to get herself mentally prepared for what's next, and takes the coordinates and punches them into her Omni tool to let her know where she's got to go. Okay. Whatever happens, we will get answers. Someone is going to be badly injured if this happens to be a terrible prank.
you lock the door of your cabin and go hide in the corner, and you know these cabins are nice and quiet. No one's going to overhear you through the door.
I think I only have one person that would really be able to help me right now. I promised I wouldn't call her unless it was urgent, but I have a feeling this is as good a time as any. And she's going to calm up and put in Bakara's secret frequency.
And you key in Bakara's personal comm code. And it takes a few seconds to connect, but when it does, you see an unveiled Bakara pop up in holographic form over your forearm. And she has one of the twins is currently climbing over her hump and hanging on and, being a little rascal. Bakara, obviously knows who's calling.
Caller ID.
Caller ID is definitely a thing. Yeah, the call connects, and she says, "Vraga, everything okay?"
My apologies for disturbing you. I know it's been a couple months, but it's nice to see you. I wish I could say this is a personal call, but I have a request.
I'll do my best, and don't worry about disturbing me. These two disturb me at all hours of the day, and when I'm not being disturbed by them, I'm being disturbed by the counselors, so this is a pleasant interruption.
Speaking of, they are growing like weeds.
Yes, they are. They will be 1 galactic standard year old in a month.
Wow, I can't even imagine. And she kind of has a very contemplative look on her face as she thinks about how Breck might be doing. She wants to ask, but at the same time, she has a feeling it would distract her from what she's currently doing. But if Bakara knows her, and she does, she would very, very easily be able to tell that she is curious about how her son is doing.
Yeah, I think the hesitation is long enough that Bakara definitely picks up on it. And as the silence stretches into, it's not long, a couple of seconds. But like you say, they know each other really well. And so Bakara reaches around because the twin in question has now climbed forward on the top of her hump and is playing with her brow ridges, and she just unceremoniously hauls him off and tosses him about 2 feet to the side. He's a Krogan. He'll bounce. It's fine.
He's fine.
There's a thud, and quickly followed by a laughter and the sound of scampering feet. She smiles and... Breck is doing well, by all accounts. As a matter of fact, he's been showing an aptitude for mechanics, by which I mean mostly he's taking up breaking them. I know you hate his name, but at least it seems to fit.
No, I'm glad to hear it. And she kind of uncomfortably shifts in the image. And she continues, and she kind of clears her throat and says, "Normally I wouldn't bother you for this type of thing. My normal information brokers, I don't think they're going to be as discreet as I need them to be right now. Needless to say, the job that I'm on right now requires a certain level of secrecy. And if it all goes to plan, this will be a large payout that I can send back home. But that being said, I do require some sensitive information that I'm not sure I would be able to get on my own."
What are you looking for? What are you doing? If you can tell me.
The people I'm working with right now, one of them is in dire straits and requires information that may... How do I word this lightly? If it got into the wrong hands, it could prove disastrous for this person. Do you know anything about Minos?
Her upper lip curls, and she growls under her breath. "Oh, I don't know a lot, not personally,
but they have been cropping up in council meetings for the last year and a half. And what I know most is that Shepard would like nothing more than to punt them all out into dark space. They're driving her nuts. She had a run-in with them on Ilos a few weeks ago, and she still hasn't gotten rid of the limp. They're bad news.
Our thoughts are aligned on that. Minos intercepted a Shadow Broker dead drop, and we're on our way to Ilium right now.
A Shadow Broker dead drop?
Yeah, this is high-level shit.
That's ballsy.
Ballsy or stupid? I can't really decide.
We're Krogan. It's the same thing. A Shadow Broker dead drop that Minos has compromised. Well, Rex is off with Shepard as we speak, and they'll be back at some point. So when they get back, I will drop a note in the right ear, and I have a suspicion that if this information turns out to be good, I suspect your payday from this particular job has probably just increased by several tens of thousands of credits.
That is exactly what I was hoping to hear. Bakara, this could be huge. I feel like for the first time in a while, I'm actually doing something that matters.
I can tell you are. Everything you've sent back so far, we've been using it for new housing complexes, in the new agriculture fields. Some of the old hard-headed idiots still think Rex and I are out to lunch, as the humans would say, but they can't argue when Tuchanka's turning green in front of their eyes.
Vraga visibly smiles and she just kind of nods. And she has a moment of pride. That's obviously, she's trying not to seem super proud, but at the same time, she's just very happy to hear all of it. I can't wait to come back home and see the progress you've made.
And we can't wait to welcome you home. Is there anything else you need from me? I am pretty sure Din and Moore have just broken another vase, so if there isn't, I will go deal with that.
No, you go wrangle those rascals.
I'll do my best.
Thank you, Bakara.
Of course, thank you.
Once Athena is done with her morning yoga and meditation, she gives a call to a hole-in-the-wall company that is located in Nos Astra. They specialize in all sorts of cutting-edge tech and computer programs, some less than legal. It's called Obscure Innovations, and it's run by one Sunshine Solarian, Lalliri Olani, and a typically grumpy tinker Quarian named Zanzej Na Vore. Hello? Hello?
Hellier.
Well, hello, Zan. You know, normally when you pick up the phone you say something.
Okay.
That's the lovely manner I miss so much. Can you put me on speaker, please?
Hillies? Is that you?
Yes, hello, Lalliri. How are you?
Better for you calling. Oh, is Marco there?
Not today. I'm almost at Ilium, and I do need to ask you some questions.
Well, that's not ominous. Go on.
All right, so to prevent tales, I'm calling instead of visiting. I need to know if you've had any contact from syndicate types. They most likely won't be wearing their uniform of brown and yellow, but essentially they are a cult. I'm sure you've heard the racist and delusions of importance manifestos, but they are prevalent in the Citadel and probably everywhere. They are Minos, and they are serious. Have you had any requests?
I do not believe so.
We work with, gray types and unsavories, questionable people all the time, but, I don't think no one that bad. No, we haven't.
All right. Good. Glad you're trusting your instincts. Okay. If you do think you've been contacted by someone of that caliber, please shoot me the buzzword.
Got it.
Yeah, sure. So, why no Marco?
I'm not on the Sonder. I'm on the Corsica, which it used to be a pawn ship.
Ugh.
And, my new compatriots, I had to improvise. Listen, they wouldn't all fit on the Sonder. And, the Corsica actually used to operate out of Ilium, so it wouldn't look out of place here. Very fortuitous. But not exactly a stealthy ship either, so fuck. I have a more stealthy ship. I wish I had the marathon.
You want to exercise?
What? No, not the event marathon. A ship I'm looking for. It's actually in reference to Minos, but you probably haven't...
He's making the frowny face.
That's his face. He's always frowning. What do you mean?
He's thinking.
Yes. The Marathon is not exactly a common name for a ship. I believe I have had a contact with this.
Do tell.
Right. A ship matching Marathon schematics was decommissioned. All Alliance markings removed. My friend Valeren Vastrenzi bought it.
When was that?
Roughly under a year ago.
Shit. Okay. I mean, that could be cold by now, but... Ha! The fucking Marathon! Alright, where do I... Wait, that Val?
Yes, of Drenzi Shipyards and Salvage.
He's in the local quarry in Diaspora too, right?
Correct.
Excellent. Your friend is probably a friend of my friend. Just checking, Val's an actual friend? Can I name drop you?
Do what you wish. You do anyway.
That is so not helpful. Okay, well, if you don't hear from me within the next 3 days, bug out.
What? Who are we bugging?
No. As in leave. As in RW protocol.
Are you serious?
Yes. Just go. And don't come back. Not until I send the safe word.
Oh, that bad?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, shit. If the bigwigs of the universe haven't taken these guys down already, do you think we're safe? Believe me, if I say go, you go. If I don't say anything, you definitely go. Got it?
Got it.
Thank you, Hellier.
Yeah, thank you, Hellies. Be safe.
Of course. You know me. Never treading on the side of danger.
Perhaps it's best if you don't poke the bear.
Oh, I'm poking it. I have to. If I don't, he's going to eat me. Anyway, trying my best to get ahead of it.
Take care, Hellies. I mean it.
Yes, you too. See you.
Are we calling the, post-mission Mass Effect 1 everyone gather together meeting?
In the fucking, 100%. I would love that.
Actually, yeah, probably. Probably that is what is happening. Except it is in, the main entertainment room, and you're all on, really comfy couches instead of around the boardroom.
Sitting like this.
Yeah.
It's like a
I
karaoke booth.
think that is exactly what has happened. You've all kind of gotten up and had your breakfast, had your coffee or whatever, and eventually everyone's wandered into the main seating area as you're on final approach to Ilium. Now, I will say, Athena, you've probably done a quick pass in the cockpit since you're the one doing the piloting, and you have the option of either going to the main commercial spaceport, that's the one that Shepard lands in Mass Effect 2, or you can go to the public spaceport on the south side of Nosastra. And you would know, because you have spent a lot of time on Ilium, the commercial spaceport is right next to the heart of the commercial district. That is where a lot, most of the main commerce occurs. As such, the docking fees are higher. The south side of the city is a public dock, and so anybody can dock there. You don't have to. So the fees are lower. You're not going to be quite as stringently checked because you're not assuming to be importing or exporting. But it is further from the rest of the city. However, there are things that are closer. Well, depending on where you want to go, it might be a half an hour skycar ride. It might be an hour's skycar ride, just it depends on what you're wanting to do and where you're wanting to go. So you probably don't know yet which one you're going to want to dock at, because you're going to need to have a conversation with everybody else. And so I feel like perhaps at that point you wander back into the seating area and you discover that the rest of your crewmates have all managed to crowbar themselves out of bed and are
arrayed there, and hey, look, it's meeting time.
Hello, kids. What are we doing?
I have a little bit of an update. While you guys were sleeping, I spoke to a trusted party. My normal information brokers wouldn't be as discreet as this needs. So please don't worry. My contact is beyond reproach. She is incredibly trustworthy.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I've never been to Ilium, so I don't.
Same.
Didn't really have much to go on. I was gonna start going through some of the records I got off that Minos agent, but or keep going through him. But thanks, I appreciate that. What did you find?
Nothing yet, but she's working on it. As soon as I know something, you'll know. You guys will know something.
So you guys do have the location of the dead drop that would have been part of the information that Jesse hacked from the Minos Infiltrator's Omni tool.
Right. I want to talk about strategy a little bit in terms of, like, if the dead drop hasn't been taken already, do we want to grab it and see what's in, like, at the information inside, or do we want to follow the people who get it and use them, track them back to whatever base they're heading to? I don't know which is the better option.
Athena goes and sits on top of a chair. Like, instead of sitting on it properly, she's sitting up higher. Hands pressed together. That depends on how stealthy you all can be. Because I like that option very much.
If you want to go for the dead drop, by all means, that is going to require a level of stealth that I cannot be trusted to do. So if there's something that I can help with outside of that, then great. Otherwise, I say we just go for option B.
Well, listen, I appreciate that, patience might be the better choice around for this particular thing, but I'm pretty worried that we won't make it there in time, or that they'll get this information and we'll lose the only lead that we have. So at the very least, I'm gonna head over there to the dead drop location and try and just scope it out and keep an eye on what's going on there. I don't think I'm gonna try and grab it myself. I'm going to see if anybody shows up, and if you would like to come with me, you're more than welcome to.
Is Jesse making a lot of noise when he gets up? Like, does he slam against the table in a similar fashion that he slammed against the wall the night before?
I think body language wise, you can tell he is frustrated. He is also like, he just looks real tired, real beat. Yeah. I think, like, as a part of this, like, plan that Jesse is just declaring, he probably would have, like, stood up in frustration, and then if no one said anything after a beat, he'd probably, like, slam his hand down onto the chair or table or whatever and just walked off.
Clous is not paying attention. Clous appears to be possibly distracted, has been staring off into nowhere pretty much since anyone else has walked in. With that, Clous definitely shakes back to reality when she hears that noise. Discombobulated. Jesse, where are you going?
I'm waiting for us to land, and then I'm going to the dead drop.
With a sense of honor and resolution, I will join you.
Thanks. Look, I know we're all, like, worked up over the vision that we all saw yesterday, but from my perspective, nothing has changed. If you're still here and willing to help me out, I appreciate it. I understand I'm asking you a lot, so you make a call that you have to make, but for me, nothing has changed.
Great. With you. Don't know about the others.
With an overwhelming wave of empathy. Jesse is our friend. We are Jesse's friends. What are you all waiting around for? Vehemently. We should go.
The closest spaceport to the dead drop is the commercial spaceport.
Okay. Then I'll head over to the cockpit and key that in.
Commercial spaceport, Nosastra, Ilium.
The metropolis of Nosastra spreads out underneath you as far as the eye can see. Nosastra isn't just a metropolis, it's a mega metropolis. It is the beating heart of Ilium. Everyone who is anyone does business here in Nosastra on Ilium. The heart of the heart is, of course, the commercial district, where everything is for sale, and then some. And as you move to the edges of the city, you can see the preponderance of skyscrapers, which you soar over top as you approach the commercial spaceport, but you can see the X3Ms and Skyvans flitting between them in this beautiful ballet of air traffic. You are arriving at Ilium near sunset Ilium Standard Time. And so the whole city is painted in reds and purples. It's absolutely gorgeous. The sky, as you come in through the atmosphere, goes from this dark blue, black to dark blue space, and then into this deep purple, red tinged on the horizon as the sun sets. With the night life already glittering, lights everywhere. At the edges of the city, you can see there are residential areas. There are actual green spaces, but as you get closer to the center, to downtown Ilium, to the commercial district, greenery is few and far between unless it's a neon sign. And then you glide into your designated docking port, and the Mass Effect docking clamps lever down and gently settle on the side on the Corsica's hull with a little bit of a control. And then your entire movement is arrested and you sort of float to stillness, and an airlock corridor extends from the docking port to meet up with the main hatch on the main deck. You do have the option of extending a second clamp to the cargo deck if you so desire, but the standard one is for the main docking port. So here in Nosastra, you have plenty of options. You are in the heart of the commercial district. The dead drop is actually relatively close by, all things considered. It is just across the trading floor, near to Club Eternity. There's multiple rapid transit stations around here. There's several kiosks for the Nosastra Mineral Exchange. There are multiple small shops, or kiosks of larger shops here. This is also one of the premier tourist destinations for Ilium, because much like going to New York, you're probably going to do some shopping. New York, London, Paris, you're going to go and you're going to go to the shopping district. People do that on Ilium too. So you get to Nosastra and you immediately expect to drop, several tens of thousands of credits. So yes, the dead drop location is relatively nearby, and then there are various other quarters of the commercial district that you can travel to. Some are the commercial district is quite large, obviously, and so I don't know that any of the places you want to go are really reachable on foot. You'd probably need to take a sky car, but rapid transit is pretty cheap on the whole, and so I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem. So yes, you have landed, you have docked, you are secure, and the airlock is ready to let you out whenever. Welcome to Ilium.
Do you guys have this? I'm pretty stealthy and pretty nimble if I need to parkour anywhere around here, so is this only going to take a couple minutes, or because I have somewhere to be, but I could totally just work with you guys before I leave.
How convenient that you want to leave. How about you stick with us since you're so stealthy and let's check you out?
Why not? This is a little fun.
This is so shocking to me because I totally expected Athena to be like, fine, go. We didn't want you here anyway.
Oh no, I'm not letting her out of my sight.
Vraga's gonna step out onto the surface and take a deep breath in. It's nice to be on solid ground again. This place is really nice.
Well, you're actually multiple, probably about 100 meters above ground level.
More solid.
Yeah. It's solid floor. Yes, there's some rebar between me and the ground. Yeah.
Atmosphere.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And as you breathe in, you get all of the for all that Ilium, it is an Asari world. It's well maintained. The sore spot of nuclear disaster is on the other side of the planet, and we just don't talk about that. The air here, it smells like a city. It's not smoggy, but it smells like a city. You can catch all that. You're Krogan. You have good nose on you. You can smell. You can see there are people of most species, although some are more represented than others. And I think probably you notice here in the commercial district, you'd notice the smell of a drive core, right? The smell of thrusters, the ion burners, or helium-3 thrusters of the sky cars that are flitting around. You'd smell probably the smells of restaurants coming from further below. You guys have docked on the side of the spaceport. It's huge, it's expansive, and you guys are obviously, the ship is not on the ground, the ship is floating, and you guys are on the the quote unquote parkade sort of deal. I think the thing that probably catches you the most is the sheer number of perfumes and colognes that people are wearing. Everyone walking by is very, very immaculately dressed, very wealthily dressed. You do see people in hard suits as well, although they're not quite as common, especially we're a couple of years out from the war now. There was a time when you saw anybody who had a hard suit was probably wearing it, but now we're back to business clothes. And yeah, lots of strong scents filtering around. Clous, you get a nose full as soon as you walk out, I'm sure, whenever you get there. And Solace as well.
I have a question,
Sure.
which will apply to how I want Jesse to leave the ship. Could I use a stress to ostensibly pull I know a guy, in that, since we were talking about, my armor maybe standing out, mm-hmm. Could I have either some feature from just general N7 standard issue or my recently made contacts in Oni to have some sort of camouflage so that it can change what it looks like?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think I'll make you spend distress for that. If you were going to try to make your hard suit look like something very, very different from what it is, then maybe we'd be talking about that. But I think what you probably do, it's an extension of your tech armor, and you just kind of tweak it a little bit so there's a little panel over top. Okay. And you maybe change the reflective camouflage. In a society this advanced, it does not really make sense for every soldier to have multiple sets of armor. I think it probably makes more sense to have some sort of alterable coating so that you can do, if you're off on ice planet, you have ice camouflage, or jungle planet, you have jungle camouflage. So I think that's reasonable.
Cool. So I was just going for basically taking away the stripe in my character's normal design, maybe even just a plain black sort of flight suit type thing.
Yeah,
and
sure.
If I would the visor in, was it Mass Effect 3 with the bar that goes across?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That with a military cap to pull the full Marvel incognito.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Yeah. So we're down to matte black hard suit with the hat and the visor.
Yeah.
And you still look like a very capable operative because you walk that particular way, but you don't immediately scream, "I'm an N7."
Awesome. Hopefully, I also don't immediately scream, "I'm Jesse."
I think that's reasonable. Well, if somebody comes along who would know you, we might be involved in some roles, but.
Got it.
I've got my hard suit on as well because I'm anticipating being shot at immediately. I don't know why, but she's like, okay, little skittish.
The dead drop is a few hundred meters away. How are you approaching it? What's the plan?
Yeah, I mean, I would try and blend in with the crowds as much as possible and not do like a direct line to the location, but sort of like curve on the perimeter of the area, try and get a scope of if, who is there, who is approaching, if there are other people in the area also scoping it out.
Vraga would probably be about 50 to 100 feet away, providing cover, but without looking like she's providing cover. She's just kind of scouting out the area, making sure that no one's like watching him or following him.
Okay, are you going ahead of him or are you behind?
Let's see, behind, pulling up the rear.
Sneaking around side streets.
This isn't really a street area. It's more like the plazas with the little kiosks in them. Remember that streets here, especially when you're multiple floors up, streets are air. Right? So we're talking, this is buildings with interior corridors, and you're on a balcony with a bunch of little kiosks on it, and there's various small docking platforms you can grab like a sky car from. But yeah, like streets here are going to be like the interior tunnels, sky bridges sorts of things between buildings, or you're getting a sky car and you're joining the air street.
What like floor is Jesse on? Like, are there kind of like levels above you, do you figure? Are you on like the main sort of like promenade?
You're sort of in the middle of the complex. Like this is the main promenade. You can go up, you can also go down. This is the dead drop based on the coordinates that you have is also on this floor. You are just a ways away from it.
Yeah, it was my intention of being on like the same level as where the dead drop is, so that if there was someone grabbing it, I could follow them or, jump them or something. I don't know.
And if it is like kind of like the picture that I posted, then I mean honestly, Vraga probably be on the level above because it's not that much of a drop. It's maybe like 50 feet, but that's enough for a Krogan to be totally okay, so.
Clous is going to position herself at a nearby kiosk where she can observe some little like some tchotchkes, like just one of those little like touristy areas where they sell like the I Heart Nyxandra magnets and the t-shirts that have been translated through multiple languages to the point where they're completely unintelligible. And so Clous is gonna stand there about 40-ish feet away from where Jesse is so that she can maintain eyesight there and pretend that she's looking at these little souvenirs.
Solace, I will say that you are getting a lot of attention.
I would have realized that, yeah.
Yeah, because you are a Rachni, and there are not very many Rachni around. People aren't being like rude and in your face, but you're like a lot of people are kind of like side-eyeing you, and quite a few people are like a little bit moving away, but nobody's like, this is the middle of a very well-to-do city. And like they're not, nobody's causing a ruckus, but you are certainly a distraction.
Solace would... They would... Trying to see if I could use it to my advantage, but I don't know.
You could if you were away from where Jesse was.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I forgot what position he was in again.
Well, Jesse's heading like sort of for the dead drop, but not like beelining for it, just kind of like strafing around it and seeing what's going on. So if you wanted to divert attention from that area, just don't be there.
The Solace will be elsewhere from Jesse's location.
Okay, Jesse, as you approach the dead drop coordinates, you notice that there is someone standing pretty much where you expect to have to go. In question is a Solarian with pale yellow skin and red mottling. He has a rather ragged scar down one cranial horn, and if you look closely, he's working on he's on a data pad. He's actually missing the little finger on one of his hands as he's tapping away on it. And he just kind of looks up. He's very nonchalant. He's very at ease, but yeah, he is right where you want to go.
Does he have any like noticeable markings, like not physically but like on his clothes or anything? Or
he's wearing a hard suit. It looks like it's of quality make. He is packing a significant looking pistol and SMG on his hip. He definitely looks professional. His hard suit is a dark green with black edging. Not, I wouldn't say, a color that you immediately recognize.
And he's just standing there?
Yeah, he's just standing there, leaning against the wall on his data pad.
I mean, I'd like to get closer.
Okay.
Yeah, do I notice anybody else in similar hard suit, colors, professionalism?
Give me a perception check.
That's a 20.
Ooh. You take a good look around, and you don't see anybody, like, there isn't a squad of matching dark green armored people hanging around awkwardly, waiting to kill you. There are other Solarians around, there are other people in dark green, but, like, this doesn't look like a setup to your educated eye.
Would this, since Clous is trying to keep an eye on the exact spot that Jesse is in, from this, like, 30-something feet away, would Clous see this green hard suit?
Yeah, oh yeah, you can see. He's just standing there.
Yeah. And as a former mercenary, would Clous be able to do some sort of check to see if that's a color of another group that might be familiar?
I'd say that's probably a history check.
Excellent, thank you. Let's find out. That's a 6.
Well, it's certainly not one of the big three. And it's definitely not Minos. Despite the fact, aside from the fact that it's a Solarian. So it doesn't look like, he's like, nah, it's just a hard suit.
Just really distracted by the fact that he's leaning, and I just think that's so cool.
Yeah, and that whole missing finger thing, right?
Yeah.
And he's super badass with the big scar down. Yeah,
Yeah, Clous is actually in her brain now that she's gone off of that topic, is like making up a backstory for him as to how he lost that finger.
Can I ask like a background question just because sure. I'm not as familiar, but maybe Jesse would be more familiar.
Sure.
When you say dead drop, the intention would be for someone to leave something there and then someone to come get it, not necessarily an exchange between parties.
Yeah, so typically, it would either be a dead drop of an item, and so there might be like a crate or something, and maybe in a secret compartment or whatever, or it may be a dead drop of information, in which case it may be hidden in a console there, possibly, backdoored into a kiosk console or a news console, or you remember those side missions as Shepard where you had to like wander around and go and click on different consoles and get the data and that.
Okay.
And so there wasn't information appended to what you hacked to say if this was a physical item or a data, like a data drop. The Solarian is standing there, and there is a news kiosk sort of like near him, within a yawn or two, sort of thing.
All right. You said he's leaning up against like a wall.
Yeah, he's leaning on the wall.
All right. I was really hoping it was like a lamppost or something so I could go to the other side of it. But just back to back with the guy. Yeah, so I would like to get in the area and maybe across the, path from this person. Basically, I want to make a pass or enter the area, and I want to see if any humans are approaching him or if he clocks me.
Okay. As you walk by, you don't see no humans that stick out to you. There are humans here, but nobody seems to be paying that close attention to you. And as you walk by, he does lift his head and look at you and meet your eyes, and then look back down at his datapad.
Okay.
Vraga's gonna come over the comm to Jesse and say, "Everything good down there?"
I'm gonna keep walking away so that I'm not just like stopping and talking about this person as he's looking at me.
Everything's
this guy, right here. He just looked at me.
Green armor clocked me, but we just made eye contact.
You made eye contact. Excellent. Well, I'm directly below you, so if you want to switch out, let me know.
Hold for now. I think we're fine.
Got it.
I'd like to use my Omni tool to scan, see if I'm picking up anything that might, signal a dead drop, maybe from that news kiosk or possibly the Solarian himself.
Okay, so you do a scan. You trigger a newscast.
Councillor Shepard has confirmed that she and her husband, Legate Vicarian, will be attending this year's Council Commencement Gala. The human councillor refused to comment on rumors that she would be stepping down prior to the New Year's council sessions and handing the position to Ambassador Franey. She did, however, deny the claim that further ill health kept her from attending the second anniversary memorial of the end of the Reaper War.
You also realize as you do so that kiosk is indeed the location, it matches the dead drop information in the hacking, in what you hacked. And as you do so, the Solarian looks up again and waves his datapad casually and then goes back to tapping on it.
All right.
It's not he doesn't wave with it, he just sort of waggles it back and forth.
I think he wants me to talk to him.
We'll be on standby if you need a Rachni distraction.
Protectively. Solace, what can you tell of this Solarian song?
The Solarian is eminently calm. Calm and smooth, like an easy, bluesy clarinet solo. Just chillin'. He's cool as a cucumber. He is unconcerned. There is a little bit of a note of interest. There's a couple little ornaments in the solo line every so often. But yeah, you don't get any notes of danger, you don't get any notes of fear. There's a little bit of curiosity, and this utter ease with which he goes through the world.
Solace will begin to speak that within the others in mind and say, it seems that this individual is relaxed and calm. We don't detect any fear or anger or anything. There's only a slight interest as if he's curious.
Have they moved on? Or they're still standing there?
Oh, they're still standing there.
Here we go. Having, using the news kiosk launching as an impetus, I will casually walk over to the kiosk and, as if I am interested in that and not the Solarian, I will attempt, not make direct contact, but just kind of stand by as if I'm trying to get, the news or whatever I can from the kiosk there.
Sure. You listen to the end of the last clip and you're kind of poking it and whatever, just waiting to see what's going on. The Solarian and then kind of just tilts his head a little bit, he's still looking at the data pad and still tapping on it, but Sergeant Westcott, I presume?
I'm here for something. I don't think I need to ask who you are. I don't.
Good, because I wouldn't tell you.
That's what I figured.
Can you confirm your identity?
I would, very casually, as if I was, interacting with the kiosk again, lift up my Omni tool, and I would just very quickly flash the N7 on my armor, unprogram that, and then set it back to the black that the rest of my armor is currently.
The Solarian tucks the datapad under his arm, lifts his Omni tool, taps it a couple times, checks it, nods, and then hands you the datapad and says, "The Shadow Broker sends their regards," and walks away.
Give a nod.
Sick. Holy fuck.
I'm gonna wait 2 beats for them to walk away, and then I'm going to turn in the opposite direction and start walking away myself. I don't think my curiosity would be able to stop me from looking at the thing I've just been handed.
Okay, sure. You take a look, and some text scrolls across it. It's interfacing with your Omni tool briefly. It's security encryption, making sure matching to who you say it are. It is. You can tell you've done this shit before. This is extremely high-level shit, which if you weren't already convinced that probably was actually from the Shadow Broker, you probably are now. Or this is something that's going to go very, very bad, very, very fast. As the characters scroll across the screen and finish, then the following message pops up on the screen. Please accept the following as a token of my appreciation for alerting me to a leak in my system. Yours sincerely, SB. That remains on screen for a few seconds and then scrolls aside, and you get the following information. The wireframe silhouette of the Marathon flashes on screen briefly, does a little 3D rotation, 360-degree rotation. Underneath it says, reads out, or types out in text, SSV Marathon, Hastings-class frigate, commissioned 2174, presumed lost in action 2185, last known whereabouts uncharted space in the Argus Rho cluster. Medevac pod discovered 2188 in the Gorgon system. Sergeant Jesse Westcott 6014 AC 7938 retrieved. Ship matching description of Marathon, but without valid registration, sold on Ilium in May 2188 by a private merchant. Ship re-registered as MSV Kosan on October 20th, 2188. MSV Kosan sold to unknown buyer, current whereabouts unknown. So there's a couple of glaring omissions in there that haven't been dug up yet, but considerably more information than you had a few minutes ago.
I hope multiple people wrote that down because I only got some of it.
Boy, I tried.
Yeah, typing away, but it's all right.
I mean, the main things that stood out to me are like the system where the marathon was presumed lost, the system where I was discovered, which are not the same place.
Notably.
And the marathon was sold on Ilium and reclassified as the MSV Cossin or MSV Cossin, and sold to an unknown buyer. I'm gonna say overcom, like, I got it. New info. Let's meet up, and anybody see anybody coming after me?
You're clear.
I should also say there's one last thing on the data pad. After, Jesse, you finished going, holy shit, that's great information. There is a note at the end that says, if you come into possession of any technology or weapons belonging to Minos, please contact this specific address, and we will arrange for pickup, and you will be handsomely rewarded. You are also then wired 20,000 credits.
Oh, nice. Wow. I'm just gonna take my hat off and be like, this didn't do shit.
Are we meeting back at the ship? Let's go to Eternity. Let's go to see some Dancing with Starry Girls.
I'm not hearing no's.
All right.
Debrief at Eternity. Got it. Decision has been made.
Club Eternity.
Your motley crew rocks up with or without Nyx. Nyx, are you splitting off or no?
Yeah, Nyx is gonna split off because she's got responsibilities, and it's probably better off I'd hang out with you guys a couple drinks in. I think it'd be a lot more fun.
True.
Okay, all right. Nyx splits off and heads out into the buildings. So there are 5 of you now at the entrance to Eternity. The bouncer is eyeing Solace with trepidation, let's say.
Oh, this is our emotional support, Ragnar.
Stop
Very
it.
nice.
I was literally just about to say that. I was literally just about to say that exact phrase.
Please don't speak to them while they're on duty.
Oh my god. The Batarian raises all 4 eyebrows. I'm gonna need a charm roll.
Sure. Yeah, let me get my calculator.
You got this.
And Jesse's just looking back at Solace like, I'm so sorry.
I would like to make it clear that Clous didn't actually say what I just said. Just so we're clear.
21.
So the Batarian, like, kind of looks between y'all and Solace, and eventually just kind of shakes his head and says, as long as you pay the cover charge, I don't care. If they break something, I reserve the right to get out the biggest fly swatter you've ever seen.
Oh, come on.
I would love to see that, but don't. It's like comically large.
Known as a warp field, miss.
Yeah, that's less fun.
Defensively, excuse me, they are very composed. If anyone is likely to destroy something here, it would be me.
And I speak within the guard's mind. She's correct.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah!
Solace, roll me Intimidate with advantage.
Fuck yeah.
Slightly panicked clarification. Not that I would intend to break something. I'm simply not known for balance.
Yep, that's better. That's way better. Oh my goodness.
There we go. That's better. Much better. So the Batarian startles and then, like, draws back, gives himself a shake, and says, Go on in. Go in. No trouble. Go on in.
Thank you.
Welcome to Eternity. You're now in the bar. Congratulations.
Well, we didn't meet in a tavern, so we had to make it up somehow.
There we go.
That's
There we
it.
go.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, Ride of the Valkyrie went to Cora's Den right off the fucking hop, but y'all did not, so this works. Yeah.
Can I pay for a private booth?
We probably should.
Of course you can. It's going to be about 50 credits.
Yeah, done.
And the cover charge for each of you is 10.
Yeah, I'll got it.
Please spring for bottle service as well.
How big would these private rooms be?
I mean, it's probably a bit of a squish for Solace and Clous, but like eternity, like Ilium is a multi-species world. It's not like you're comfortable, but it's like, okay, this isn't really built for you, you know?
Like a medium-sized conference room.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of have a partial view to the rest of the club, maybe?
Yeah, so what I'm imagining is like, it's like a conference room, and then like one of the walls is like a half wall, so that y'all can like sit comfortably, and you've got a nice view of the cityscape, and there's a door that, you know, like the waiter can come in and bring you drinks or whatever, but it's apart from you guys, from the rest of the
like a club level sort of room at like a sporting event.
Okay, so yeah, then I guess we will all go in there. Vraga would be very interested to hear what Jessie found. So immediately, as soon as the door was closed, she would say, "Was it worth it? What kind of info did you get?"
Well, that went better than expected. Yeah, no, I got some new info. The ship's been renamed. We're not looking for the Marathon anymore.
Of course not.
We are looking for the MSV Cossin. Sold to an unknown buyer, which I presume would be Minos.
Do you have any other information? Perhaps when, where?
It was, so you've got that after it was a ship matching the same description, but without any valid registration, was sold to someone on Ilium in May of 2188. And then sold, then it was re-registered as the MSV Kosan in October of 2188, and then it was sold to somebody else, and that person is not known in December of 2188.
I say that.
So you don't know who bought it on Ilium, and you don't know who it was sold to about a month ago.
So yeah, I would fill you in on that.
Oh, okay, cool. Right, so that matches what I have. That would have been taking place at Drenzi Shipyards and Salvage. So that is a good spot to start. I can at least...
Wait, how did you know that, Athena?
I deal in information. Ta-da!
You're a sneaky little minx, aren't you?
Correct. But also, I've spent a lot of time on Ilium. So I've got people here, there, everywhere, and some that I know would tell me the truth have told me this, and it matches what Jessie just got. Don't know from who, but yes, match. That's good. That's crazy. That's good. So, Drenzi, I think that would be a great place to jump to next. Was there anything else, Jessie?
It was mostly just dates, when the ship was found.
Uh-huh.
When it was recommissioned, when it was sold.
Brilliant.
That's it.
That's it? Some random just decided to give you information?
I don't think they were random. Thanks, Vraga.
Oh.
Looks like she came in clutch at the last minute.
All right. Okay.
Oh, I mean, I don't have a problem revealing my secrets.
Was that a dig?
A little professional jealousy, Athena?
Bakara and I are good friends.
I'll take it. Bakara. The Bakara.
Yes, we came up together in the colonies.
Snap! All right. Excellent. That's very helpful.
Beaming with pride. We make a great team.
I think I'd lean over to Clous if I'm like close enough to lean over and be like, I think she's blushing.
If Clous could blush, she would right then. Solace detects like a little like joyful flutter in Clous' song.
I think it's just beaming and not saying anything because she's like, oh my god, there's this new context. This new context. This big context. Whoa. Do you know what? This is great. This is great. I think we should get some drinks to celebrate. I'll go get them. Be right back. Because I want to go out to the bar and roll to see if I spot anyone familiar.
Roll away.
Luck's going to run out eventually, but right now it's a 21 again.
As you're waiting at the bar, you notice off in a corner a familiar-looking drow.
All right, I will saunter over towards the one I know as Tuatha. Fancy meeting you here. Hello.
Well, hello, Athena.
Hey.
Nice to see you again.
Likewise. I believe you had something for me.
I do. Now, you're looking for a certain human organization, is that correct?
Correct.
They don't operate much on Ilium. I don't see very much of them on a day-to-day basis. I wish I could help you more on that front, but I will say that... Does the name The Black Knife mean anything to you?
Would she know that?
That'd be a history check.
A check.
Of all the gin joints in all the world.
Oh, for fuck's sake, it's in that one.
Yeah.
God damn it.
And thus the luck ran.
Yeah.
Far away.
So, Athena, you stare at Tuatha sort of blankly, and she waves a hand and says,
No matter, he ran in the highest of my circles. He was the sort of guy you didn't want to run into.
Oh.
Legendary assassin. Legendary.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who he worked for. Nobody knew who he took out. But if you got in the way... Everybody thought he died in the war. But he's back. He's back, and he's weird.
I'm sorry, weird?
Yeah.
She steps in closer, and like, if you had a lapel, she would be taking it and like pulling you in. But as it is, like the collar of the hard suit and just a little bit in, so that like nobody else can hear. This is right in your ear.
Hi.
He's not taking contracts, but he asks people weird questions. And then he disappears. And he looks wrong.
Oh.
And the reason I bring it up...
She pauses like she... Actually, roll me insight.
15.
You've known Tuatha for quite some time. She's not timid. She's very smart. She is capable of killing someone any number of ways without them even knowing that they're dead for about 5 minutes. She does not scare easily. She's scared.
Okay.
She does this tiny little glance, and normally this would be the checking to make sure nobody's overhearing. This is the I don't trust anything in the corners anymore look.
Okay.
She checks the corners, and then she says, he hangs out with Minos.
Yep.
That's why I'm telling you.
I figured, and I appreciate that. And she doesn't actually say to Tuatha that she's scared, because I think that would be unprofessional. Appreciated. Consider your debt. Yeah, paid. No problem. No problem. The questions that he asked you, did they involve a target that he was going after, or maybe subcontracted to you? Anyone in particular that you were supposed to kill?
No, he was asking questions about planets that didn't exist.
What?
Yeah.
No, they exist. Just we don't know them as that, surely. Okay. Can you shoot me the names in a text later?
Yeah.
I don't want you being heard saying that.
I can do that.
Do you have somewhere to go?
I always have somewhere to go.
Great. All right. Well, I'm not going to keep you any longer because longer we're together.
The more we're noticed.
Yeah. Side note: if I put a kiss on her cheek, will I hallucinate?
Very possibly, depending on how much. But that's hilarious because I was literally gonna do the exact same thing.
Oh my god! Well, then we're gonna do that.
And
then.
so I think you guys. I think we both. You do like the European kiss on the cheeks thing, the little air kiss, and then she pats you on the shoulder and takes off, slides into the crowd.
Kiss, get high.
Yeah, I come back
exactly.
I was waiting for you to be like, oh, and she does it too, and so you accidentally just mwah.
Well, that was what I was like, I don't think this is where this is going.
No.
We're just going to do
No,
the kiss
not like
and
that.
then go.
Not like that.
I did think about it, though.
Cool. Well, I don't look back because I don't want to draw attention to her, so lean over to the counter, get the drinks that I said I was going to get, and then head back to them.
Meanwhile, right after Athena left, Clous looks around the room and says, very uncertain. Did any of us tell her what we wanted to drink?
Yeah. Not at all. No. She didn't even ask.
Nyx is the toy whisperer. Athena's the drink whisperer. No, Athena just doesn't give a
No,
shit.
she comes
It's
back
true.
and we're all like, we would never drink these.
Athena's gonna get vodka, and you're all gonna like it.
Deal with it.
I'm going to say right now that she's going to try and get me drunk because she doesn't trust me. Gonna try and get me talking or something. Let's see how that goes. I'm just letting you all know so you can watch out for me. She's definitely gonna try and drink.
It would work, maybe.
Why does that feel like you want that to happen?
Hey, you're not here. You're not here.
Yeah, you're not here.
Clous would fully encourage this, being like, maybe this will help. Maybe if they loosen up with each other a little bit.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right. Okay, wait. So when Athena comes back into the room, is she gonna be visibly can I roll perception? She would.
I mean, you can always roll. You can roll perception. You can roll insight. You can roll whatever you want.
What are you trying?
And then it'll be up to, Leah how much Athena is hiding.
That's a 15. I have a -1 in perception. 15.
Okay, so what does Vraga notice on a 15 perception as you come back in with the drinks, Athena?
On a 15. That's not a bad roll. She doesn't look spooked, but she's definitely had a conversation that's kind of got her thinking.
Does she seem visibly inebriated yet?
Oh, no.
I'm wondering if she's actually tripping from Drell skin oil.
Oh, no, it was air kisses.
Yeah, and I think you'd have to do a full-on Stitch style.
Yeah, which...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, now it's air kisses. She's fine. She's not intoxicated and...
Don't ingest, folks. Anyway.
Yes, so you just see that she's thinking about something. But once she's kind of taken 2 steps into the room, then you can see that switch flip, and then she's back to cheeky, and she's like, shots? Wow, no takers? Okay, I'll have them.
Oh, no, you don't. And Vraga takes one.
There we go. Good girl. Excellent. Thank you, Vraga.
Sure.
Anytime. I'm somewhat of a ride or die. So, Jeffy, now that we have this info, where do we go from here?
Drenzies, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've worked with them before, or?
Me? No. But friend of friend.
Insight check.
Yeah, insight check. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Me?
Do it.
I want you to know how funny this is because Jesse is not insightful. Oh, I rolled a 19. It's a 16.
Wow.
As far as you can tell, Athena is just surprised by your question, and a friend of a friend is genuine. I mean, this is what she does. She's an information broker, right? She makes connections. So.
Yep. Truth, baby.
Athena, you would know that Drenzi Shipyards and Salvage is quite near to the public, or it's closer to the public spaceport. So it's on the south side of the city. It's actually just beyond city limits.
Yeah.
It's because it's a scrapyard and a shipyard.
Yeah. So we would have to go on a little field trip.
Does anyone have Nyx's contact info? Did we do that?
Vraga absolutely does.
Maria, did you give that to anyone?
I don't think so.
Nyx, you were on the comm with them earlier, no?
Yes.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah? Okay. Then yes, they can comm you, but they don't know where you are. And so I think at this point, if any of them tries to ping her, I don't think the ping is picked up. So you do not get a response from Nyx at the moment.
What I would have done, of course.
She's screening my calls.
Right, so who's down for that little field trip? Or do you have better things to do?
Distantly. I will meet up with you all there.
Okay.
You okay, Clous?
I'm sensing like a passel of insight checks.
Yeah.
Yep. 19.
Roll a 6 on insight.
Holy Jesus.
You're not super familiar with Elcor facial language or anything language.
All right. We're gonna roll a deception check. Man, I have 0 luck these days. I can't. Something seems evil because I can't tell you the amount of fucking 6s that I have rolled in today's session and yesterday's session.
Oh.
Okay, Vraga, did you roll?
I did not. I'm going to right now. Fuck.
Vraga rolled a...
Amazing.
I think that's a 1 because your insight's a -3. If I'm
Sure
correct.
is.
Yeah. So a dirty 1. And so whatever you say with this, Clous, Vraga will believe.
Yeah.
However, Athena, you know Clous better than that.
What did Jesse get again?
I rolled a 6.
Hey, just like me.
6.
Well, it was a 9 minus 3.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you say, Vraga and Jesse, you don't see any reason not to believe. So what are you saying?
Oh, well, also technically, I have a +5 to deception, so my rolling of 6 was an 11.
Oh, okay.
So, only Athena sees.
Yes.
So, in response to Vraga's question, Clous says, with attempted sincerity, everything's fine. What Athena can detect somehow is that everything is distinctly not fine, and Clous feels that her continued presence in this situation would be a danger to others.
So I think what's happening there is your words say everything's fine, but I think you've moved a little bit closer to the door.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely have.
And just for funsies, what's your song like?
The percussiveness has grown to levels of like 30-second notes.
Oof.
And it's a kind of anxious and uncomfortable, discordant song And rather than the red is more prominent than the gray. It's like a racing heartbeat.
Yeah, that's what I was getting the impression of.
So yeah, Athena, you can tell, I think maybe in like the maybe Clous kind of looks at the door, and usually Clous, when faced with Athena and friends, is like all in all the time, shipping everyone left, right, and center. But the time that Clous wants to leave a social gathering with people who possibly like them, something's very wrong.
Athena gets up, puts her hands on Clous, and kind of ushers her out the door. Be right back. And then she goes to leave and then turns back around and she's like, wait a minute, drink those. If they're not gone by the time that I come back, I'll have them. And then goes out the door.
Challenge accepted.
Vraga starts pounding shots. Calls for another round.
Yup.
I've been challenged. Krogan never backs down.
Just tosses one directly in and swallows the glass.
Damn right.
The glass, yeah. Yeah.
Athena and Clous, you're in the main area of the club. Eternity's not particularly busy. Like, business is gonna start picking up as the night goes on, but right now it's just kind of pretty chill.
Yeah, it's early night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Leolin. What's up?
Clous, if Solace can still feel Clus's song from the other room, it's like the beat has dropped.
Yeah, you're pretty close. So yeah.
The beat has dropped. People don't use her birth name. She doesn't go by her birth name. With thinly veiled panic, I don't feel like myself. I need to go.
Oh.
And much like Athena has done to Leorlin, time and time and time again, she says, reassuringly, I'll see you again soon. And leaves as fast as she can.
Oh, hey. And she's walking alongside, puts her hand on her shoulder, and she's like, hi. This is highly unusual. But if you want to keep that a secret, I respect it. Just, it's dangerous to go alone, so take this. And she sends her location info. I will find you.
A promise and a threat. You feel Clous tense up when you place your hand on her. And how wide are these hallways?
I think you haven't quite made it to the door yet. And actually, Clous, I would like you to roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
All right, dice, can this one not suck? Okay. Wisdom. That's a 17.
Ooh. Okay. You feel that sensation that has been bubbling up in you for the last several hours, it spikes, but you push it back down.
So in that case, when Athena places her hand on Clous tenses up, manages to release that tension, and firmly but safely puts her arm out to stop any further movement of Athena next to her. Tenderly, thank you. Now please, go.
Shit. All right. Do what you need to do. And catch up later.
And Clous says nothing else and walks away.
You have been listening to I Should Roll, Dangerous Dangers, Episode 12, The Teams Coming Together, featuring the voices of Alanya Campbell as Solace-Within-Clay, Tiff Compton as Ravanor Vraga, Amanda Cotter as Clous, Maria Damianou as Nyxandra Lalliri, Leah Lawson as Athena Hellier, Dan Spitaliere as Jesse Westcott, Vlad Renwick as the reporter, and Kaya Renwick as everyone and everything else. Music and sound effects are used under Creative Commons or royalty-free licenses. For the extended credits, please see the show notes. And for more information, please visit ishouldroll.com. Find us everywhere on social media at ishouldroll, and don't forget to leave us a review. I Should Roll is an Intergalactic Improv Initiative production. This fan podcast is a transformative work and is not affiliated with Electronic Arts or BioWare. Thank you for listening. Have a pleasant day.